Turkish Cultural Center, this one is the headquarter of around 14 centers around New York State. These centers have been the hub of Turkish culture around here. We have organized many events and we continue to organize them. We have annual dinners, we have picnics, we take distinguished community leaders to Turkey. We have festivals in Grand Central, Central Park, on the street, in Manhattan, and so on. Our hope is to share our heritage of tolerance, understanding, and hospitality. There's a Turkish saying that says, if you share Turkish coffee, it brings friendship for 40 years. We just shared the Turkish coffee with Mr. Dioguardi, and we hope to be for more upcoming years. Thank you.
Human rights violations. You can't just be a bystander. You have to take an action. And Dioguardi has taken that action, and he's probably, as far as I can tell, the only person that has consistently, without any stop, been working on these issues for the last 25 years that I know of. And I encourage you to support him, to vote for him, to get as much support financially. We have 2 weeks. The elections are coming.
10 days.
Please, 10 days, that's right. Please do whatever you can. Call your friends. And let Dioguardi now speak to you, and he will tell you more.
Thank you so much for making win this. So get that message to your friends, okay? And by the way, I see the person I go buy my food from, the St. Kitty, and he's over here. What is your full name again? Thank you so much for coming. He's always a hard worker. You see the whole family there. Reminds me of my father's store, because I was raised in a food market in the Bronx before we moved.
One of the best stores in New York.
Yeah. And I also have someone from the gas. So much done. And I'm going to review the time that you and I went to the University of Marmara. We literally saw something very bad coming. And when we saw it happening in Bosnia, Shirley and I used our connections with Turkish Americans and with others to go and do a press conference at the University of Marmara about what was going on in order to alert the Turkish government that this is something that will escalate further and that these secular Muslims, the Bosnians, need support. In those days, Turkey was not prepared to act. We got support from certain groups, but thank God I was a congressman before, because when you're a congressman, the doors open up a lot more easily. When you go to the State Department, you don't have to stand online, and Shirley and I became active lobbyists. We never got paid, but you cannot go to Washington and meet a senator or a House member or someone in the executive branch without registering every 6 months. Now it's every 3 months. But in those days, every 6 months, Shirley and I had to file a report as registered lobbyists, even though we were not paid. In fact, it was just used against me in a debate. Oh, he's a lobbyist. As what? I'm a human rights activist. But look how you can confuse people when you use the word lobbyist, because they think of somebody who's making millions of dollars. And I had to say, no, I risked my life. In fact, I wore a bulletproof vest many times of the 30 times I went to the Balkans. Why? I had to find the photos and the documents to bring back to Bob Dole and Tom Lantos and Henry Hyde to show them with their eyes what was going on, because Milosevic was like Hitler. He was lying to everybody. And Holbrooke made him our partner in peace at Dayton, even after Srebrenica. This is how crazy things could get. And then you have to figure, well, why would the United States do this? Because over the years, the United States got seduced by Tito. You know, we had this nostalgia with Yugoslavia, that they were the broker between the Warsaw Pact and the United States. but he took money from Russia and the United States, and who ends up with this big army? Serbia, when he died. And that was the big danger, because now you had the party, Communist Party boss, Milosevic, just when I'm a congressman, 1987, he becomes the head of Serbia and the head of the Communist Party. And the first thing he does is he starts repressing the Albanians. Tito was trying to keep everything, even. Very complicated country. 6 republics, 2 autonomous provinces, and different groups, the Croatians, the Bosnians, Macedonians, Montenegrins, the Serbs, the Albanians, and Hungarians in Vojvodina. So very complicated. So once you start one group starting to oppress another, you disturb things. And we saw this coming. I saw it coming. Because Albanians, believe it or not, by accident. It's almost like God makes beautiful things happen. Here, my first birthday party as a congressman, we use birthdays to raise money. That's the excuse, right? So here's September 20th, 1985, and the finance chairman, who was an Irish American, brought with him his workers. He was an attorney, but he was a developer. And who does he bring? Albanians from Kosovo. I never knew the word Kosovo before that. But somehow, a year before my father dies, he's speaking Albanian to his younger sister, because in my family we speak Albanian and Italian. It goes back in the history. And the people from Kosovo couldn't believe it. They come running up to me. We thought you were Italian. I said, well, I'm Italian, but I know we have this subculture that goes back. Maybe it goes back to Roman times. I'm not sure. My father was a poor farmer. He didn't come here with an education. No, you're from Kosovo. I said, where's Kosovo? Never heard of it. I go to Congress. Nobody knew where Kosovo was except one person, Tom Lantos. Why? He was born in Hungary. He's the guy that was saved from the Holocaust. And he knew the whole history. So that's what started this whole thing. Albanians then started to educate me and about what was going on. And little by little, we were preparing for what was going on. I never thought Milosevic would be so bad. And you saw what happened. We finally had to get the United States to lead NATO in 1999 to bomb Serbia because he was lying, and while he was saying he wanted peace, he had the tanks already going into Kosovo. So I had to do a lot, thank God. By that time, I had met Shirley. My first wife died. Her husband died. We met, believe it or not, because she was a publisher doing a book called Yugoslavia's Ethnic Nightmare, 1993, and we meet by accident. So then we realized that we could complement each other very well, and little by little, we became a very important force causing Congress to have hearings, the Senate and the House. All these, if you want to see me and Shirley in action, go to the website of the Albanian American Civic League and look how I'm yelling at Senator Biden because he was pro-Serb. But we convinced him. By 2002, he said in a meeting here in New York at the Sheraton Hotel, you put a light in my heart about what was going on. I didn't know this story. And it shows you how you need to have people who understand things to go to Congress to explain what's going on. And he turned from what he was to being a big supporter of the Albanians. Well, Shirley and I ended up going, I think it was 1995, to Marmara, and we had this great
National Press Center in
Istanbul to wake up the Turkish people and the Turkish government, because we knew more than anybody else did. So we felt we had to go to a natural ally. Who could be a better natural ally to these secular Muslims in Bosnia and Kosovo than Turkey? And it was very difficult, because at that time, Turkey was concerned that, Yugoslavia could break up, and if it does, all these ethnic groups, we may have a problem here, because Turkey has so many ethnic groups. So I can understand how the politicians were concerned not to be too active and involved. But we did get quiet support from there.